this thing for the autism awareness. I don't want to speak louder, so you have to tune it up because I don't want everybody to hear. So, a short story of my autism. I mean, ever since I was like 5 years old, I could notice that other kids they can interact, play together. They know how to make expressions with their face, how to play with their voices, how to just say hi, nod your head to say hi, all that stuff. And I just practiced hours and hours in front of a mirror and how to nod my head and how to like say hi with my hand by waving at it. Because whenever I tried it, like I didn't like start practicing because I felt like that, but I of course first was just living life like a regular kid, and then they waved hi to say goodbye. As usually mothers or parents tell their kids to, say hi to that the kids, so wave hi, they wave hi, and then I don't even know how to do that. Like, yeah, of course I do it, but it's just so awkward looking that they start making fun of it, that I can't even manage this basic stuff. But not really. Okay, I'm a millennial, but I don't really feel like I am. I feel old school. I didn't watch any Japanese manga. I watched classic racist Disney cartoons as a kid, and played in the woods with a knife. I didn't, you know, play with my cell phone. Yeah, they had cell phones back then. They were like this size. Anyway, the autism awareness thing. So I went on with my life, always like feeling there's actually around the age of 7 or 10. I remember I had to cycle to school about 3 miles one direction, so I had plenty of time to think. Didn't have any headphones back then in those days. Well, we did have Walkmans, but I was just a little kid. We didn't grow up spoiled. So I got plenty of time to think, and in those bike rides, I remember very often I used to have this dream, or just dreaming of stuff that might come true. Just lost in a dreamland, in a way to calm myself down. And because honestly, since as a kid, I just didn't know how to relax. Still, so probably, yeah, that's what this video should be about, like how autistic people relax. And here's my 50 cents for it. So I got so in, I got relaxing myself with these dreams I had as a kid. So that's the way I did it naturally. As a child, that was my natural solution to it, natural child solution. So I was dreaming of that. I just gotta muddle through life with a tight upper lip, keep quiet, just keep on pretending like I understand, and other people and their personalities and what they're saying, and that just try to wait till you get to the retirement age, around in your 70s, and this was my dream around the age of 7. That just wait till all these 70 years of flies by, and then you finally get to the good part, and just finally be able to be alone in your house, and nobody forces you to see anybody, talk to anybody, go anywhere. And that's a weird dream for a kid, and I did realize it, so I always wasn't real true to myself, authentic when interacting with other kids. They would ask me what I like and what kind of a guy I am, and I mean, if I just knew that I can't talk about this kind of stuff. That I just wish I was 70 years old, so that I can finally just, you know, act the way I would naturally act, and it will all be forgiven that he's acting weird or funny because he's old. And I didn't want to talk about this stuff, which would have probably been a really good thing because, you know. Anyways, so I was doing really bad in every subject at school. I was basically, I had a certainly my way of thinking, original way of thinking. Like I remember, first day of school they started with math, like 1 plus 1 is 2, and I remember going in my head like this teacher is so annoying. She acts like she knows everything. Like, how can she be sure that 1 plus 1 is 2? Like, um, well, she did somehow manage to annoy me by making me remember a person who is really did terrible things, and I guess I didn't like this reminder, but also the fact that just felt like nobody should act that cocky, like that. Even though we're just students and little shits, we have still our input. We can teach the teacher something for sure as well. And I had my own way of thinking. I was exhilarated when I found out that there are fields of mathematics where 1 plus 1 isn't always 2. So, however, original thinker definitely, and really retarded, problems with interactions with people and just being, even if you just have to sit still in a class and just try to listen to the teacher. It would seem like, well, this is common for most people that they feel like, I don't know, but still, I would just hear what other kids are saying. I wouldn't hear what the teacher is saying. But when I'm like really hearing that now there's gonna be like the most interesting story the teacher's gonna tell the whole year, I really want to hear this part, but I still can't hear it. Like, I would mishear, no matter who it is, person I know, my parents, or other kids at school. I would just constantly mishear everything as well. So yeah, I got definitely trouble. I couldn't comprehend any subject at school. Basically, I was doing really bad. And around the age of 10, the teachers finally realized that this kid's been struggling every year to pass the grade, and also behavioral issues. So then I got sent to a social worker at the school. She came at the school, and she also had her education was that she got a master's in psychology as well. So she was really a psychologist. So we were talking, and yeah, probably would have. They would have probably noticed back then that there's something going on with my abilities, that I am a bit disabled. Um, so, but my parents, they made me stop seeing that person because they were afraid that they're gonna put me in a foster home, So they just wanted to, cover their own. Uh, well, they just wanted us to stay together and not lose the son they had. Uh, so they made me lie and just lie that I want to quit going here. These meetings so that the kids that bullied me, which they were, and then that was the best part of all those 6 years of that school was going to the psychologist, because that was the only time that I felt pretty good talking to her, like just being real, and everything else was just pretending in front of my schoolmates, in front of my parents, in front of everybody. So that was great. But yeah, I lost that, so I got diagnosed as an adult. But I think my life would have gone a very different way if I had known that I had something like this. So, just feeling scared, like, what is this? Why I always feel so uneasy and unable to relax. So I felt like what can I say? It led me to a very different path in life, and it just well. So first of all, I set my goals really high, because I felt that I have to. I don't know. Anyway, why I did it, but still, I did set them high. So I did eventually, nearing to teenage. As a teenager, that was the first time on the onset of puberty that I actually started to evolve from that kid who struggles to pass the grade, to to be passed on to the next school year. So I actually became top of my class. So I went on to a very prestigious high school where they study Latin, me included, and I don't think they had ancient Greek anymore, which is no, they had some, but not as much as Latin. So I took Latin, and then I went on. I got accepted into university. I was brilliant enough that I got very good score to enter, much higher than needed. Once again, if not Harvard, it's still a good university, and people are really struggling to get in there. It's just that you gotta have a high score to get in. So all this, and now I was already an adult in my 20s. Well, I was 19 when I drove myself to university with my own car, and then somebody listen. So God damn it. I'm dying because of this. Already damaged my lungs beyond repair, but can afford to buy, spend $100 and make it clean. So, I was at university. I was driving a car of my own that I didn't have money for. Not just a cheap car, but it was a Ford, and it was working perfect, and so I got this brilliant future. I don't feel like it's gonna be brilliant. Well, I do, yeah, I do. But also, I know that these very strange things happen to me all the time on a daily basis, so I can never quite get my self-esteem very high, because I do realize that I'm kind of retarded on an everyday basis because I get into these kind of stupid problems, and yet I'm considered at the same time highly intelligent by my classmates, because I am the kind of a guy who can not understand what the teacher is saying, but then he gets home and he reads it in a book, and he becomes top of his class by teaching himself. And I did teach myself many things. For example, I taught myself how to do this. So every time I change a finger, there is a different. There's a change, as you might notice. So like, I can do this. Mä voin alkaa puhua tämmöstä kieltä, että ette ymmärrä mitään ehkä. Tää on aika tämmöstä alkuperäis mörinää. Ei niin. Och klart kan jag också ta sådär efter det evolution av det svenska tonfall som är ju mycket högre än i finska, men vi har också ett språk som har konserverat det gamla sättet att tala, och det är finlandssvenska med det lågare tonfallet. Deutsch, ich kann nicht sprechen, so, das ist nicht gut, ich verstehe, aber ich habe nicht studiert Deutsch, ich weiß nicht. Una cosa hermosa, con tu cadera muy bonita, me gusta como te bailas, como me miras, como me es comer, joder, que una mente sucia, pero sí me gustará después de estudiar la lingua latina, che lingua latina errare humanus est, festinalente, bebere humanus est, igiturbeamus. That I made up myself, so I can do something creative with the so-called dead language. مرحبا، كيف الحالك؟ ممكن من فضلك يا عمري يا روحي الله أكبر. the divine. In general, I'm speaking the divine in general. So I can say Allah Akbar. It's it's divine. No argument there. Divine things are truly Akbar and not to be egged. I got this kind of little bit of this stupid verbal thing, like that egged thing I just made up there. So kind of retarded fascination, over fascination towards languages, I suppose. And the list goes on. I could do at least 5 or maybe 5 more. But I don't think you want to watch that so much. Well, I don't know. I should be able to do it faster though. Like, tänä mä näin jeesti, se on hea kieli. Mä oppisin ja mõtlesin, et mitä sano. Ja mä tahtoin muuttaa Eesti maahan se päivä, kun se on kannepilaillisten. 1 miljoona suomalaista Eesti maahan se päivä, kun se on laillistettu. Bien sûr, je peux parler le français un peu à haut niveau. Pourquoi je parle l'espagnol et l'italien mieux que mon français. Et, c'est pas facile, c'est pas difficile le français. C'est une langue qui me fascinait quand j'étais un petit garçon. Créant, faisant, ou on se peut étudier français, on se peut étudier l'allemand, l'anglais. Même je voudrais, je suis le français, mais je peux pas. Qu'est-ce que je peux faire? La musique française est assez compliquée sans dictionnaire. C'est impossible. Pourquoi je connais pas l'anglais? Les mots sont tous. Je suis comme un son qui parle chinois. Et tout on a une langue différente. Le français, mon langue.对，我能说一点的中文，我喜欢中文，中教师，中教人还，我太喜欢李佳龙和我感觉中教我感觉中国人太好人说话汉字我太喜欢这个，我感觉态度。我感觉中国的national feeling you get through movies. 中国的菜太好吃，太好，我喜欢豆，我吃的豆。 我去了都都都那可以走啊！谢谢中国，太好，太好，师兄，太好人啊，好人，好人，我喜欢中国人啊。L'italiano ho parlato altri video, ancora no, non fa niente a parlare più. Adesso la lingua è come una la lingua italiana è come una donna che io voglio fare scogliere con la nieve per l'amore. Johnny Bashi spas Русский не говорю. I really don't figure out anything to say in Russian. I really don't know the words even. Um, like how to. I don't even understand the words except when they say like construction or something like that. That's construction, yeah. That I can guess, but all the other words, man, it's a language. It's a new language family for me, so it's gonna take some time for me to get into that if I one day begin. Um, anyway, it's been a long video, but the point is that like you can kind of relax when you immerse yourself in this kind of fantasy worlds, and just fantasize. What if I had a body that could make me live 1,000 years old, or what if I won the lottery, or what if I, could stop the time for a second and just move in the time and just take a car and just, steal it and drive it around in a world that's fully still around the world, just drive through Russia all the way to China to just, no, not that direction, maybe better would be. Anyway, what would you do? I can't drive a big ship, so I can't really go to America. In a world that's fully stopped still, and you can do all this kind of stuff, but that's kind of a poor attempt to go to your happy place when you're just already been years and years in a constant not happy place. There's just, you don't know how to relax, or at least maybe I'm making generalization here, but I don't know anybody who's autistic and knows how to just appear as relaxed as so-called normal people. So how do you do it? Like, well, living in a Western society as a young university freshman, I would try alcohol like basically all of the people in my class, and yeah, sure, but that's really a shitty way to relax, because it's you only feel good when you got the bus going on, and that bus is like such a short time that no matter how experienced you get and how good you get at regulating the amount you drink, you still cannot maintain the buzz. Don't. It's not gonna work. I can tell you. You only get the buzz going once, and then you have to wait a few days, and then you can get the buzz again. But that buzz lasts such a short time that it's really not worth it unless you just have to be able to do something that takes only like 15 minutes or 30 minutes to do, and you just can't do it without the buzz, like me talking in front of a camera. Now I haven't drank anything, but in my earlier video where I talked about autism, in the video called As Dumb as Peter Griffin, that's how I started this whole making videos thing and shooting myself in front of a camera, because I was just really drunk. Well, drunk, really and really, but 3 beers to a guy who normally never drinks to an empty stomach is quite a lot. I could feel it. I had the buzz going on, but I wasn't tripping. But already you could see my walking was getting shitty, and that's just 3 beers. So yeah, I really wish I will not drink. In my life, it's very unnecessary. I don't know what I need it for, except that for a long time it was the only way I knew how to relax. Well, one of the 3. When you sleep, you relax. You forget your autism. You're immersed in your fantasies, much like when you're just awake and you try to get lost in this kind of fantasies. What if, and just enjoy your imagination, imagining things that are not there. Yet they are. And then there was if you get high fever, you then I could feel that I'm more relaxed and I forget all my bodily sentiments, so I can really concentrate. I'm not so distracted by any physical, let's call it pain, and but so yeah, given only those options, then I understand why I did alcohol as a young man in my 20s, because it was the only way I could go talk to a woman, go manage any social interaction, because I would still be autistic, but I would be more relaxed, looking more natural, but acting really as stupid as I do sober when I'm autistic, but I don't know it. So I just think this is normal. Everybody's like, what is that fucking idiot doing? Like, that's a sober thing. That's just the autism coming through despite the alcohol. So alcohol is definitely not a cure for autism, even though it has been reported. And I also have felt this myself sometime, that it does help me think things from a different angle and just find solution better than I would normally. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, something like that I felt. But some people say, or on the spectrum, that it's really like a rocket fuel for them, for their brain. Yeah, I kind of felt like that, but no, not. Yeah, of course, the high fever was rocket fuel for my brain, just like alcohol was, but it didn't really make me less autistic. No, actually, the high fever does make me less autistic, but Alcohol, yeah, not really. Just fooling yourself with it. But yeah, sure, it can help you to be. Yeah, I guess it can help you to be a little bit smarter to get a new perspective. But what a price! What a shitty thing. My body, I didn't get any hangovers. I was an athletic young man, and still, I just hate the small feeling I get from alcohol. It's not really a hangover, but just I can feel it's really bad for my body. I don't like it. That cold feeling. Just I can feel it all burning my stomach, but I can feel nothing in my body likes it. It just feels really shitty. It's like shooting a tranquilizer when you go to a dentist and it's all over your body, like blood. But it's not really a great thing. So even though I had times in my life that I'd been devoutly religious, believing in miracles, basically, at least in eternal life and all that, and it's like even with all that religious thing going on, that really devout feeling going on, I still couldn't relax. So what the hell does it take for an autist to relax? The thing is, I didn't know I was an autistic, so I was starting to think like I'm really insane. Like only people who are like this that I know that don't know how to understand other people and don't know how to relax are like Dexter on TV, who only feels tranquility when seeing large amounts of blood or alternatively having just killed somebody. So I really didn't know that there's another kind of people who are like this and who are much more harmless than this kind of personalities who are able to be really violent towards other people easily, without remorse. So then I finally found a solution. Meditation with this. Um, it's a thing. Without it, it's I'm not able to do basically anything. Very little. Yeah, sure, I got into university without it, and all this other stuff I did, but still, I'm missing out on so much. I was missing out on so many things in life before the introduction of the meditation. So it's I had tried meditation even before, and mindfulness, Eckhart Tolle, and all that, but just have to find the right kind of meditation, and it was instant. I would be so overjoyed that I finally have solved in just one sitting. I have solved enough of my problems that now I'm ready to feel secure that I can raise a family if I can just meditate. I can be a father of many children if I can just have my meditation every day, and then my brain works. That's real rocket fuel, makes the wirings of the brain really connect, and just can't talk for all autistic people, but it works for me, and I have autism and I have nothing else. So as far as the doctors know, as far as I know, so now you see, this is rocket fuel. Better than high fever. Makes my brain work better than in fever. Even though I felt so much more intelligent in fever than on alcohol. And that's all I've tried. Besides the that's about it. Just figured out instantly that with the help of the meditation practice, I can finally don't have spend more than a decade basically avoiding my parents and all that. I just didn't know how to be with people. So then I was like, yes, now I know how to meditate, calm myself down, be able to relate to other people, understand them, and now I don't care, I can be a caretaker of my elderly parents every day, because I can do it now. It was this huge change that I could just meditate and just get a moment of release from being an autist or feeling like an autist. So that's really, well, actually, yeah, a word of advice if you do want to try this meditation thing and you're autistic and you have no experience of meditation, then I would suggest that my biggest mistakes were that like with, well, let's give you a comparison here. When you go to the doctor and they wanna give you a pill for depression, for example, which they tried for me, but I didn't want to take it. They said that just gotta, if you could just start taking it and keep taking it. You cannot just stop when you want and then continue. When you want to have like a weekend party or something and take alcohol, so you want to stop taking the pill. So it's it's like a therapy. When you cut it, you get that chemical of the thing twisting and everything, and then you might end up worse than you were before you took the medicine, and you might also end up losing the working benefits that you would get from the medicine because you fucked it up by taking this break. So the break is the problem also. I felt like this was so much better before the breaks. So don't stop the meditation if you feel like this is the godsend and everybody else is saying, well, you're crazy, you've gone cuckoo, you gotta take a break and show us that you're normal. Well, that's the thing. When I did that, I lost it. There was no coming back. Yeah, sure, I had to go back because it's the only thing that helps, but it doesn't really work so marvelously anymore, but it does. So don't take a break, but don't don't go nuts either. Don't like meditate more and more and more. Just stay with the same small meditation practice, even 15 minutes a day. That's it. So yeah, if I had this fantasy come true, this is maybe one of the nicest fantasies. Like, of course, if I won the lottery, that would solve basically all of my problems, because then I could actually afford it. Because now I have to become a refugee, but afford life, because this is very expensive lifestyle I'm leading. Just because, you know, so who wants to become a refugee just because they can't afford food in their own country? That's nuts. So, but that's what I'm looking at right now. Applying jobs abroad, Canada, and I'm also making these videos, hoping that somebody could have a suggestion how to help me. Um, so so if I could just win the lottery, for example, a huge amount of money, yeah, that would solve a lot of my problems, because I would be like healthy all the time, because I would, and then that would mean that I could work 10 hours a day, raise a family, but as a single parent, and what else? Like, I feel that confident with this, but without it, I hardly can work. Um, or feed myself, or get up from the bed, wash my clothes, do anything else. So, and yeah, that was also my life before I became religious. Cause yeah, sure, I got into university, um, but everything was a shit in my life. I didn't. Everything got left unfinished, and I was a mess. So I was more of a mess, and just because I wouldn't know how to relax, I would just get into these scary life or death situations just to get the adrenaline going on, so that's how I would relax. And so I was a really stupid Peter Griffin kind of a person. Like, people could really see, like, you can see from Peter Griffin from miles away that that guy's kind of a silly, childish, kind of a retard, to be honest. And we're not supposed to use that word these days in this day and age, but I am one, so I guess I get to say it. Just like black people can make jokes about what they used to be called before, and of course, the people who used to call them that can't make those jokes. I don't see why I couldn't make the joke. I mean, I do see, because I look like this and it hurts people. So I've never done it, even as a child, but I do not really understand it, because I am different from the people who actually did it in the past. So, you know, it's like you're looking at a Chinese guy. It's, you know that he had nothing to do with it in the history So it's not coming from a place of historic meaning. It comes from a place of something else. So yeah. What am I? Not that I also have a need to say that, but it's like just I've observed these situations when I see colleagues at work, and then there's also black colleagues at work, and it's like they're like using that word to each other, and then the white guy is trying to prevent them by uses that word like they do to each other. So it's like they're like, "What did you say?" And it's like so it's like and start doing that whole thing like they're really angry and like, "Oh, you're insulting my mother when he's calling me that. You cannot insult my mother. Anybody who insults my mother." That really goes on. So I understand, like it's like a small child who is playing on a playground and some are using that word to amongst themselves, and then somebody who is perceived an outsider to them is using that word to them, and then they're like, that's not cool. But the child wouldn't know, because it's a really small child, barely knows how to talk, for example, or a little older child, or then a full-blown moron like Peter or me. Like, oh my god, my world just opened up with the meditation. I could just suddenly understand almost everything, if not the meaning of life, close to it, and everything opened up to me. Like I was the idiot who'd been going to art galleries, I've been to Vatican, and everywhere. It's not everywhere, but places, real places of art, and I didn't get anything out of them. I was just like, is this supposed to be beautiful? What is this? It's not working for me. I don't understand at all art. I'm completely strange from art, even music. All my life, even as a kid, I could never understand why other people like music. They don't want to play music. They don't want to hear the radio or the music. God damn it, it's just nonsense. It doesn't bring me joy at all. So there was all this weird stuff that we couldn't understand, and then the whole world, just the secrets would just open up to me. Like suddenly I wasn't afraid to die anymore. I've been anxious about my health my whole life, and doing a lot of sports and everything, and eating super healthy and being really thin because I'm just avoiding fat too much and getting too thin, I guess. Because all in the name of living over 100 or something. And then, just suddenly you understand so much more, and you feel like you could write novels and be a really wise teacher. And suddenly you feel like not only you understand art, but you can also be an artist. And also, like football or any other team sport, I could not play at any age because I just couldn't read the game, and also was kind of clumsy. And a guy who doesn't know what to do, which way to run or what to do when he gets the ball, that's not a guy who can play the game. So with the help of this, I could just instantly read the traffic, read the game, play the game. Did my first goals ever playing first match after meditation, and then I took just 1 week without meditation, and it totally sucked. My coordination and my reading the game ability, I was the worst.